I've tried to shoot this video so many freaking times. It's been 3 weeks since I put out a video, and I wanted to do a catch-all, you know, grown woman sit down, chit chat with you guys, and just like give you all the goods. But the way I wanted to do this was I wanted to be at home. I wanted to have like my computer that's set up in my bedroom. I wanted it to be all nice and decorated. I wanted to have my little pictures on the wall and my little clipboard on the counter. And I wanted to have like a little cup of tea, you know what I'm saying? And just be all, here's what's been going on in my life. You know, that's how I wanted it to be. But that ain't my life, y'all. That is just not my life. I have not had a second to do anything outside of all the drama that's been going on. So we're gonna do it my style. We're gonna do it Yvonne style, in the car with my daughter in the background while I'm driving home. Okay, that's just how we're gonna do this. Quiet, Sophie, because that's who I am. Okay, I've been fighting this for a while, guys, because I just wanted it to be cute, and it was not coming out cute the other times I tried to shoot this video. All right, so here's the rundown for the last 3 weeks. Let's go over where we were. Let's do a little recap, okay? Week 8 was the last time I submitted a video, all right? And we were running about 8.5 miles a day. That's the furthest distance that we had gone. We were running with Sean, and that was great. School was going okay. Work was a little touch. Kids were good. Everything was fantastic, okay? That was week 8. Everything was great. Week 9, week 10, everything crashed and burnt. Like legit, week 9, I get a call. Somebody's bullying my son. Someone hit my son in the face. He ended up fighting them back. It became this whole thing. I had to go up to the school and like mommy up and go before the principal and stuff. Because what happened was I called them and I was like, hey, what's going on, you know? My son came home, he told me this, and this happened. What's happening, you know? She's watching Turbo, and this is like my favorite part.
Whoa! That snail is fast! What? Are you seeing this?
So I go up to the school, I call the school, and I'm like, hey, what's going on, you know? I'm hearing these things, what's happening, you know? And they're like, hey, this kid has been messing with them, and they got into a little scuffle. Kid hit him, he hit the kid back, you know, blah, blah, blah. So I was like, well, look, this is not just blah, blah, blah. I wanted what's going to happen next. Ooh, I'm going to drop my phone. That's what's going to happen next. See, I told you it was going to be a mess today, but we're going to get through this. So they were like, well, there's not much we can do. The kid has already been in so much trouble that he's not allowed to get recess. He's not allowed to do anything else because he's already been in trouble. So there's not really anything we can do about it. So I was like, what? No, we're not going to let this just go. Like, we're not just going to be cool with this kid hitting my son in the face just because he's already been in a lot of trouble. Like, so I ended up having to go into the school, meet with the principal, meet with the vice principal, and just kind of worked it out. Eventually they did come up with a punishment for the kid. I talked to my son, like, you know, I made sure he was okay. So that was week 9, dealing with that. At the end of week 9, I told you work was a little here and there, you know. I was having some issues, but I was okay. End of week 9, beginning of week 10, all hell breaks loose at work. I have this project manager that's on my back 24/7. Like, she would not let up. She was just, it was to the point where I started to think, like, is it a race thing? Is this a black thing? Is this because I'm the only African American person, woman or male, on my team? Okay, so you don't treat no other coordinators this way. Why am I being singled out and treated like this, you know? So it started making me feel like maybe this is some racial discrimination take place. I'm not one to throw out that race card real quick. Like, I hold mine pretty tight to the chest. I don't throw out the race often, but it really had me wondering, like, yo, is this what's happening? Are you like, do you have a problem with me because I'm black? Like, what's the real issue here? So it got to a point where I ended up having to pull my manager into the situation And I even got to talk to, not specifically about the situation, but there was a member from our board of directors holding a program, and I kind of asked him questions like, what would you do in this type of situation? I didn't like put any names in there or anything like that, but I just wanted to get a viewpoint from someone, you know, outside of the situation, on what they would do or how to handle that. So that happened, you guys. Week 10. We are now on week 11. And things are settling down. Had my midterms. I had my exams for math class. My grades have slipped, but they're not awful. So I'm still passing, but they're not like where they should be. Last thing I want to say is, because we missed so many weeks, I do not think we're going to do the rock and roll marathon. I know, it sucks. But the truth is, you have to train for these things. Like, I'm not one to go into a situation half-cocked. Like, you have to train. That's a legitimate thing. So you have to train, and I've missed 3 weeks of training because all of these things were going on in my life, and I allowed those things to distract me from my goals and the things that I was working towards. So we started week 1. And I thought I was gonna die. Okay, week 1, my fastest mile was 15 minutes and 30 something seconds. At the end of week 8, my fastest mile was 10 minutes. So we shaved 5 minutes off of my mile, off of my run, you know, off of my fastest run. Shaved 5 minutes off of that. When I started this training, I was 215 pounds. I'm 5'6", 215 pounds was what I was. Weighed myself last week, and I'm at 200.6. So there's definitely been benefits to me doing this, the training and going for this half marathon. Like, there's definitely been benefits to it. I didn't get a chance to complete it, but I'm not ending it, if that makes sense. I am actually just gonna do a different half marathon. We have the Viking Dash, and that's August 19th or August 16th, one of those days. I have to look a little bit more into it. And yeah, so that's what we're going for now. That's the new goal, the new dream. But what I really want to do, you guys, like what I would love for this channel to represent is, I do have a lot of things going on in my life. I have kids in the back seat. Whoa, that AC just shot all the way up. Nice. It's like 74 degrees, but it's super loud, so we're gonna turn that down. I got kids. I got work.
You never have any kids.
You are my kid. I have school. I have a husband. I have ministry. I have all these things in my life that demand attention, okay? All of these things demand 100% of my attention. And what I've learned in these last couple of years is there's always going to be something that demands your attention. There's always going to be a school or a job or a kid that's fighting your kid or a coworker that you have problems with. There's always going to be these distractions, these things in your life that come up to steal all of your time. But if you have a goal and you have something that you want to accomplish, you gotta stick to that. You know, I have so many goals. I want to run this half marathon, is one of the ones that I started working on, but I also want to do more rock climbing. I want to take more hikes. I want to travel. I want to learn how to play the piano. I just always have wanted to learn how to play the piano. I want to take voice lessons. I want to go skydiving. There's so much that I want to do, and that's what I want this channel to be. I want to take you guys through that experience of, despite, or you know, regardless of where I'm at in my life, I can still reach personal goals. You know, I think women, especially when they get married and they start popping them babies out, they forget about themselves, they forget about their goals, and they focus on their family, which you should. There's a time and a point where you should focus on your family. I'm not knocking that, but I also think there's a time where you should spend on yourself. And right now, at turning 29 this year, I just feel free to chase some of these goals and have some of these accomplishments in my life. So follow me with that. We're starting our training again this week. We went back to weightlifting, so I'm back on my weightlifting, and hopefully I can start running again and aiming for our new goal of August. I think it's August 19th. So stay with me if you want to. After the race, who knows, we might be doing videos about scuba diving or rock climbing or skydiving, who knows? But we're gonna go and we're gonna have adventures and we're gonna accomplish things. That's all I'm saying. And you're welcome to join me.